So, chances are you've used remote access at some point, right? To log into your work computer from home or maybe to help your parents with a tech issue. But what if I told you there's a massive security flaw hiding in that whole process, right in plain sight? You know the drill. You put in your password, you get connected, and you just kind of assume you're safe for the rest of the session. But that one single login, that initial handshake, well, it might not be nearly enough to keep you protected. And we're not just talking about someone peeking over your shoulder. Nope. The encrypted data from those very sessions, data that seems totally safe today, is actually being collected for a much, much bigger attack down the road. There's a name for this strategy: harvest now, decrypt later. Basically, bad actors are just hoovering up enormous amounts of encrypted data. They can't break it today, sure, but they don't need to. They're just stockpiling it, warehousing all our secrets, waiting for the day when technology finally gives them the key to unlock everything. A really fascinating research paper by LP Harisha Lakshan Warnakalasoria calls this out specifically, saying it's like a ticking clock on all our current security. So what kind of tech could possibly set off this data time bomb? Well, the answer is quantum computers. And you've got to understand, these aren't just slightly faster laptops. They are a completely different way of computing, a fundamental leap forward that can solve problems that are literally impossible for the computers we have today. Think about it like this. Nearly all the encryption that protects us online, your bank account, your emails, your remote sessions, it's all based on math problems that are just too hard for a regular computer to solve. But for a quantum computer, it's like having a master key that can open almost any digital lock made in the last 50 years. So on one side, you have the digital locks we all trust, like RSA and ECC. They're the standard right now. But on the other, you have this new technology that's going to make them totally useless. Every bit of data being harvested today is a ticking time bomb for tomorrow. But, while the quantum threat is on the horizon, there's another vulnerability that's way more immediate. And this brings us to a huge blind spot, one that exists right now, baked into the very way we log into remote sessions. It's called static authentication. It means you log in one time at the very beginning and the system goes, okay, yep, that's you. And then it just trusts that it's still you for the rest of the time, whether that's 5 minutes or 5 hours. That single assumption, that's the blind spot. This is what's known as the man-in-the-room attack. So picture this. You're at a coffee shop, you log into your work server, and then you get up to grab your latte. Someone just walks up and sits down at your laptop. As far as the network is concerned, nothing's wrong. The session is already authenticated. That imposter now has the keys to the kingdom. So how do we fight both the future quantum threat and this immediate physical one? This is where that research paper gets really cool. It proposes a solution called the Vanguard-Amnesic framework. You can think of it as a two-part defense system. Vanguard is there to protect against that future quantum threat, and Amnesic is there to react instantly to a physical takeover happening right now. It's a real 1-2 punch. First, it swaps out our old breakable locks for a new kind of encryption that even a quantum computer can't crack. And second, it completely scraps that login once idea and replaces it with a system that is constantly checking, hey, are you still the right person? So that new lock is an algorithm called CRYSTALS-Kyber. And no, this isn't some experimental thing. It's actually a new standard chosen by NIST, the U.S. National Institute of Standards and Technology. It's designed specifically to be our main defense in the quantum age. But honestly, it's that second step that is just wild. So how in the world does a system continuously check if it's still you? Well, it does it by learning your own personal rhythm, your digital fingerprint. There's an AI model that runs right on your device, and it analyzes the super unique way you touch your screen. Things like the pressure you use, the size of your fingertip, how fast you swipe, and even the tiny little pauses between taps. It's kind of like recognizing someone's handwriting. All of that gets combined into a behavioral profile that's yours and yours alone, and it works surprisingly well. In fact, the research found that this method is 98.4% accurate at spotting an imposter who takes over a session. That is an incredibly high hit rate. But I know what you're thinking. Doesn't all that constant checking just slow everything down? Not even a little bit. The whole check, from analyzing your touch to comparing it against your profile, happens in under 50 milliseconds. That is literally faster than you can blink. You would never, ever notice it's happening. It's like a silent guardian, always watching. Okay, so it's fast and it's accurate.
But what does the system actually do when it detects a mismatch? Well, this is where the amnesic part of the name really shines. If the AI's confidence score, its certainty that you are you, drops below a specific point, it triggers what's called the amnesic wipe service. And it doesn't just log the user out. No, it's way smarter. It instantly purges the session's secret encryption keys from the device's RAM, making the entire data stream total garbage to the attacker. Game over. So, when you put it all together, let's see how this new framework actually stacks up against the kind of tools we're all using today. The difference is just night and day. Standard tools like AnyDesk use RSA encryption, which we now know is vulnerable to quantum computers. Vanguard-Amnesic uses Kyber, which is quantum resistant. Standard tools verify you once at the beginning. Vanguard-Amnesic verifies you continuously. And the response to a breach? With today's tools, you have to find out and manually shut it down. With this framework, the amnesic wipe kills the threat automatically and instantly.
And the best part is, this isn't just some theory. The Vanguard-Amnesic framework is a real working proof of concept. It shows that we can build this kind of next-level military-grade security on the phones and tablets we already own without killing their performance. And that leaves us with a pretty profound question to think about. For decades, security has always about something you have, like a keycard, or something you know, like a password. But maybe, just maybe, the future of security is about something you are, defined by all those tiny, unique behaviors that make up how you act in the digital world.